So all I did was take 80 grit sandpaper and sand down the whole thing, just really quickly, nothing super. It's now made that patch stuff white again, and I'm going to try to cover it. So what I'm going to do is take the filler, mix it with some of the stain, and hope that that can cover whatever this is doing right now. And then I also went down into the basement, couldn't figure it out. I don't think it's a frozen pipe just because I can get scalding hot water through it. It's just a pressure issue. So I called the people who put the water heater in, and they're gonna come anytime from now 5 o'clock. So that is where we are at in life. So I'm gonna go mix that stuff up and hope to God it can cover this without looking horrid. I mix them up. I don't know. I'm just gonna do these 2 spots here. Actually 3. I did the little holes here. I'm gonna see what happens, and then if it works out well, then we'll do the whole window. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to, I don't know. I have no idea. And I just mixed it on this lid. I just took some of the base and mixed it in with some of the stain, but then it still didn't work too great. So then I had to do some of the put some more stain and mixed it on the wood. So I don't know. We're gonna see. This is dripping, so I'm gonna have to wipe the excess off, but that's dripping, so we'll see. We have finally got a win today. So on an old house group I am on Facebook, they recommended getting grain alcohol. This is 153 proof. I couldn't find any here in town, so I had to wait till I went back down, and I found some. $20 for that bottle. And it takes up all the crummy shellac, and it gets it all nice and pretty looking. Success. So I'm not going to do a good portion of this section because the couch isn't going to be here. I need to get the rest of the paint off the trim, and then I can start working on this. And it's a bit of a process. I still have to get the heat gun to get this stuff off and in here a little bit better. But it's coming off, and it's a win for today, and I will take it. So who knew? Grain spirits. And the lady at the liquor store downstate knew what it was for, or knew what it was. I don't know what you would need 153 proof for, but I will take it. This is a win. This is gorgeous. I love this color so much. I'm probably going to put just like a wax on it, just to protect it. Nothing shiny. So unfortunately, I wish I would have known this before, because we would have done that with that window. So, but you know what? I got some thinking to do about that window. Because if I sand it down without the stain on it, but I have to figure out what I'm going to use to cover those damn holes, I don't know. So I guess the 2 windows in here are going to be a different color than this guy. And that's going to be okay. So I'm going to get back to heat gunning now, because we got a plan. It's going to work. I didn't want to do all of this work and then be like, well, now what do I do? Because I can't get it cleaned up, which I can get it cleaned up. So we're on the right path. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, and I also used the Grain Spirit, and I just got a non-scratch scrubby from Walmart. So, okay. Good morning, YouTube. It is Thursday morning. I took the morning off. I went back to bed. We got up at our usual time, and I got breakfast, did a little light reading, and then I just went back to bed. I wasn't feeling great. And so now it's around 11, and plan is we're going to change some of those, because they've been on almost 24 hours now, so we're going to change some of those plaster washers. Definitely get the window at least almost done. I have a plan on how to fix that stuff. Hopefully it works. This is the first thing I'm going to do this morning, see if that works. Might tackle this wall today, this half wall, and then this wall, which doesn't need much. It doesn't need any plaster repair. None of the cracks in here are devastating. So I might start laying some joint compound on this wall, just because there's some holes, some minor cracking, that kind of thing. So I might do that on this. And then we also have to get the shellac off of the trim. So that's where today lands. Like I said, I was really just tired and not feeling good this morning. Mornings are usually really hard for me, and so I just took the morning off. And I have things to do. I am on a time frame, but a lot of these things doesn't require a lot of work, like taking out the washers and putting them back in another place. That doesn't require a lot of work. It just needs to be done. And that needs to sit. So the same thing with the window. As soon as I figure out how to cover these ugly spots, it's not going to be a lot of work. It's just going to take time to dry and that kind of thing. So that's where we are this morning. I am hoping by the end of this weekend, like Sunday, that I am ready to start painting. I was thinking about painting the ceiling, but I really need to get the plaster, plaster primed first, because I'm painting the ceiling a really fun color, and you always want to go down like an inch or two onto the regular wall. It just helps with the line of transition, and I don't want to do that until I've painted the wall with some plaster. So that's where we are this morning. As you can see, I got a lot done. I did melt the carpet a little bit here. I tried really hard. I had cardboard and all that kind of stuff trying not to melt the carpet, and it melted anyway. And then I really melted over here in the corner. Yeah, it is what it is. I tried my best and it didn't happen. And then I left some paint down in there, and I might, looking at it now, I might take that out too. I didn't think it looked that bad last night, because over here on this side, which I guess that's missing a piece. If it had this piece, then it wouldn't matter, but it's missing a piece because I didn't do all the paint close in there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at today. I'm gonna shore up some more of this wall. I gotta do over there, which is gonna be tricky. And if I can, because this one did okay, put some more plaster screws in here and up in here. Was able to take out most of the glue that I had put in these holes. Yesterday I took them out. So we got this, and I think, and up here, and that is it for this wall. So if we can get this wall stabilized today, that would be fantastic. I would like that a lot. And so that's where we're at. So I'm gonna take Lady to pee again, and then we're gonna get started because it's time to get started. I feel like I've been talking to the camera a lot and not been showing you actually what I'm doing. So to fix this, I've let the stain sit all day yesterday, and I didn't move it, and I took some of the pigment that settles on the bottom of the can, and they recommend using this to get those holes. Now it's going to be much darker than the other one, so use it sparingly, do what you can. So I'm going to just try it on a few spots here, just to kind of see if we can fix this ugly white stuff that has been, and I'm not being afraid to use my finger and blending it a little bit. Like this one's a lot. I'll feather that out a little bit. Same thing with down here. This is pretty dark, or not the right color. And I'm trying to make it more of an abstract shape, so it's more natural looking, if that's a thing. I'm going to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to do mineral spirits again, and then possibly put another coat of stain on here. And I think that should do it. And we'll go from there. I'd rather have it be a dark mess than this white flesh tone color that they have on here, you know? It's like, that does not look good. It's not a good look for this. Oh, I didn't want this to look pretty. So I'm just going to do this, just this panel right here. Although I pulled a lot of pigment out and now I'm like panicking. Like maybe I should have vacuumed. I got all ahead of myself. And should have vacuumed. It did not vacuum like I was supposed to. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do the whole thing. I keep stopping and starting with this project and I really just want it done. So that is kind of what you do according to the internet, is get some, yeah, there you go. Get some of that pigment from the bottom and use that to cover the white stuff. So I'm going to go around and do this, I guess, right now. And then we'll go from there. One good thing, I guess, with all these dark parts is that there's a lot of them. So it's not going to look weird if you just had one spot and you were trying to cover like one spot. It would look really weird. It'd be like, I don't know why is there only one really dark spot? But if I got a bunch of them all over, then it might be okay. It might blend in a little bit better. So what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to let this dry really good. And then I'm going to do a coat or mineral spirits and another coat of stain. And then we'll just call this done because this is taking too much time. But like any home improvement project, it always takes longer than you anticipate or that you think is going to happen. It always does. It's the way it is. So I'm going to get to this. I just wanted to show you because I felt like I've been talking to you guys instead of showing you what I've been doing. Just because I've been in a mode like, let's get this stuff done. So, all right, I'll show you when I'm done. So this is what it looks like blended. If I don't blend it, you're gonna get spots that look like that, and that don't look good. This one isn't my favorite, but it is what it is. And so I just take my finger and rub it just to get to blend it, so you don't get something like that, which would not be cool. All right, so I am done with that whole process. I think it looks way better than before, for sure. And it also helped cover up or disguise a lot of that white paint that I couldn't get out of the corners. So I think it turned out pretty good. So I'm gonna let this dry really well, and then I'm gonna put a second coat of the stain, just regular stain on it. And then hopefully we'll be ready for the shellac. And I wasn't gonna do the shellac, but I don't really like this color matte, and I think it would just pop the wood. I'll show you over there. That corner, I could not get the white off, so I just put that on there. So it's gonna have a lot of dimension, this, but you know what? It looks beautiful. The holes are filled, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna just start taking the washers out and putting more into the wall, and we'll go from there. So I made an executive decision just now that I'm not gonna reuse these because a lot of them had gunk from the glue and they're bent out of shape. So we're just gonna wait till tomorrow, do it right. So I am gonna start repairing this wall, this section of the wall anyway. And this wall, this one just has some fine cracks, some holes, and just kind of, and then I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a plasterer, but try to smooth this out a little bit so it's not like a huge, differentiation in the wall. I know I'm not going to have a smooth wall. I know it's not going to be this gloriously smooth wall. I'm fine with that. I just don't want a big, like, oh, there was a repair there. And then some of the holes look like they didn't do anything because the plaster is so thin, and there really wasn't anywhere for the glue to go, so it just came off with the washer. So yeah, so I'm just going to start repairing this wall, or as much of this wall as I can, and then start repairing, just covering the holes and the fine cracks on this wall, because this one doesn't need any plaster repair, as in the plaster's coming off. Like you have a crack here, a lot of people will recommend to fix this like I did, but it's not moving, it's solid. So that's what we're going to do. I have applied all-purpose joint compound. As you can tell, I'm a total professional and you will want to hire me for your job. No. So I have done all this. I wasn't too concerned up by the ceiling because I am going to put paintable caulk up there. So trying to fill these huge gaps was a big issue, especially over by the light switch plate. I'm hoping the light switch will cover most of that. And so I know for a fact I'm going to probably have to do this more than once. So I'm going to let this dry really well, and then I'm going to get some sandpaper and sand it down and then see where we're at. Some of these holes are really deep, and you know, you're just going to have to keep adding, and like this part here, and then here, and then the majority of this here on this wall are nail holes. Lots and lots of nail holes. So they would put a picture up and then they would take it down, and I missed a spot here. Missed a few spots. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more on here, but that's okay. And so yeah, got a little bit of a crack there and just a fine crack up there. And that's all I'm gonna do because I really want to get this archway. I need to figure out how to get that off. I have no idea. And there's still some like gluey stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess. So yeah, so this is where we're at right now. We're gonna let this dry really well, probably till tomorrow, maybe tonight. I think the window is looking pretty good, and I think that's pretty dry. So after I eat lunch, I'm gonna wipe that down really well and stain it for the second time, and then we should be good to go for the shellac tomorrow, I'm hoping. And I really don't mind the deep, darker parts. It looks a hell of a lot better than the crappy flesh tone. I used about half of this. I have a huge jug. I bought a big jug for the, hopefully it'll do the entire living room. It might not. We will see. So yeah, so we're gonna let this dry really well, then go in with like 220 sandpaper, maybe 60. I don't want to take all of it off. I just want to smooth it out and then see where we're at. If I need to add more to some spots, if I need to, what do I need to do to fix it and make it look really good? But yeah, so this is where we're at. Tomorrow I hopefully will have my washers so I can start fixing this wall and the other one. So after I do this, I'm going to start taking the shellac off of the trim. And I didn't show you this because it's a very messy process. I have to check the carpet because I was getting some in the carpet, and then I had to take a rag and clean it off because it was dropping. So I'm going to have to do that before lunch and then get some lunch. Okay, see you in a bit. I think I've been working about an hour, maybe a little more than an hour, but I got that and all the way down to about there. I still have to get all the white paint off. I've been using this, where are we at? This tool. It's not gonna focus. Anyway. There's a little lip, and that has been getting a lot of this crud. So this has really helped a lot. And then it does get on the baseboard heat, but you can clean it up pretty easily, as you can see. I cleaned it up pretty good. So it's really easy. I've got my scrubby, which I keep cutting down because it keeps collecting all the gross stuff, and I cut it down, and I've used about that much alcohol. I did use some on the other little piece that I did last night. So we are coming along. I'm pretty excited about it. I have to decide what I want to do. If I want it to be matte, if I want to put shellac, which would be a big pain in the ass. I'm leaning towards making my life simple and just doing the wax. So yeah, I gotta think about it. But I wanted to show you my progress. It's not super exciting, so I don't know if I'll videotape it or not, but we'll see. So everything is covered in dust. So I just took 220 sandpaper and have been sanding. Some of it's gonna, like I thought, I'm gonna have to do another coat because there's ridges, or like that one up there cracked because it needs more. But all you want to do is just rub your hand across it, and if it's smooth, then it's gonna paint smooth. But if it feels rough or funny, then you want to go back over and just make sure you get it really nice and smooth. So I still have to do down here and over there. I'm just waiting for the batteries. I haven't been diligent in my batteries, so There's like a spot here that needs to be filled in, and these spots need some more. This wall did pretty good, other than the spots that I missed. And like I said, you just run your hand over. If it feels smooth, then it's going to paint smooth, and you're good to go. So I wanted to show you what I was doing. And then this is all dusty, but it's almost, I hope it's dry. Probably should have thought about that. It's dry. So I'm gonna take and sand this, maybe not tonight, maybe. I wanted to take a shower. I usually take a shower every other day, just because showers are really difficult on me. But I really felt like a shower tonight. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna take a shower, let's get dusty. So I think I might also sand this. I'm just using 220. So give it a nice sand. And then tomorrow I can wipe it down with some mineral spirits and get it ready for the shellac. And then when this stuff is done, tomorrow I'll just wipe everything down with warm water, fill in what I have to refill in, get the holes I missed over here, and then let that dry, and then do another nice sanding. And you just have to really work at it. I thought for sure I was going to do a lot of work with here, and there's just a few like little rigid pieces that I'm going to just have to put a little bit more plaster in, but it actually turned out really nice, and I'm really impressed with myself. I'm patting myself on the back. I did a good job. Oh, I got to get that a little bit better. And that one here. I don't think I sanded over here yet. Trying to remember everywhere I sanded and where I didn't. So like this needs some more. And so yeah, so that's where we're at. It's almost time for me to go to bed. I always try to go to bed around 9 so I don't overtax myself. But now that I'm literally covered in dust and debris, I might stay up just a little bit to try to get this done. I have to do down there and then the window. Sure, yeah, that's where we're at.